My name's Elena. I'm 26, and I've been a barista in Seattle for the past 3 years. This city, with its endless rain and foggy mornings, feels like a dream sometimes. But dreams don't pay the bills. I work at this cozy little cafe called Brew Haven, tucked away on a side street near Pike Place Market. The smell of fresh ground coffee beans clings to my clothes, my hair, even my skin. It's become part of me. But lately, it's not enough. I moved here chasing art school. Yeah, I know, cliché, right? Small town girl from Idaho with a sketchbook under her arm and stars in her eyes. I enrolled in evening classes at the local community college, studying illustration. During the day, I sling lattes and cappuccinos, smiling through the steam. Double shifts most weeks because rent in Seattle isn't kind. My apartment? It's a shoebox above a noisy laundromat, with walls so thin I can hear my neighbors arguing about whose turn it is to take out the trash. But it's mine, for now. Some days are good. The tips flow in from tourists snapping photos of their foam art. I buy fresh produce, apples that crunch, greens that don't wilt in a day. I splurge on a new set of charcoal pencils for class. I feel alive, like I'm building something real. But then the slow seasons hit. Winter drags on, rain keeps people indoors, shifts get cut, my bank account dwindles. I start skipping meals, telling myself coffee counts as breakfast. Art supplies gather dust because who can afford them when the electric bill is overdue? That's when the worry creeps in. At night, I lie awake, staring at the water stains on the ceiling, calculating. Rent, $1,200. Tuition payment, $500. Groceries, whatever's left. My heart races just thinking about it. I check my phone obsessively. Maybe a freelance illustration gig will pop up. It never does fast enough. Enter Marcus. He's the owner of Brewhaven, mid-40s, divorced, with that effortless charm that makes customers linger. Tall, with salt and pepper hair and a smile that crinkled his eyes. He bought the place 5 years ago, turned it from a rundown spot into something warm, inviting. Wooden beams, mismatched mugs, local art on the walls, including a couple of my sketches he hung up one day without asking. "Elena, these are gold," he'd said, winking. "Add soul to the place." At first, our interactions were professional. "Good morning, boss," I'd say, tying my apron. He'd nod, check inventory. But as months passed, he noticed things, like how I'd rub my temples after a long shift, or how my smiles got tighter when the tip jar stayed empty. One afternoon, during a rare lull, he leaned on the counter. "Rough week?" His voice was low, concerned. I hesitated, then nodded. "Yeah, art school's kicking my butt, and bills." Why did I tell him? Maybe because his eyes didn't judge. They listened. From there, it started small. He'd schedule me for extra hours when things were slow. "Can't have my best barista burning out," he'd say. Then came the loan. Not a big one, just $300 to cover a tuition installment. "No strings, Elena. Pay it back when you can." I was stunned, grateful. For the first time in ages, I breathed easier. Closing shifts became our thing. The cafe empty, rain pattering on the windows like a soft drum. We'd wipe down counters side by side, talking. Real talks. About his divorce, how it left him hollow. Rebuilding the cafe as therapy. About my art, how drawing was my escape from a chaotic childhood. "You're talented," he'd say, pausing to look at me. Don't let this city grind you down. His words wrapped around me like a warm blanket. In those moments, I felt seen, not just as the girl behind the counter, but as Elena, the artist, the dreamer. One rainy night, God, Seattle rain is relentless. It poured like the sky was weeping. Customers cleared out early. I was mopping the floor, my arms aching from the day. Marcus appeared from the back office, sleeves rolled up. "Let me help," he said. No question, just action. We worked in comfortable silence at first, the swish of the mop the only sound besides the storm outside. Then he stopped, leaned against the counter. "You look tired, Elena. Everything okay?" His voice, it was gentle, probing. I set the mop aside, wiped my hands on my apron. Just the usual, money's tight again. That loan helped, but I trailed off, feeling exposed. He stepped closer, the space between us shrinking. The air felt charged, like before a thunderclap. I get it. Life's not fair sometimes. He reached out, tucked a stray hair behind my ear, a simple gesture, but it sent a warmth through me. For a second, I forgot the rain, the bills. His eyes held mine, full of something unspoken. Understanding? Care? We talked more that night, deeper than before. I shared about my fears, failing art school, ending up back in Idaho with nothing. He opened up about his loneliness, how the cafe was his family now. The conversation flowed, pulling us in. He offered a hug, awkward at first, but then comforting. I leaned into it, feeling safe for the first time in months. The world outside blurred. For those minutes, it was just us, two people finding solace in the quiet. When the hug ended, he smiled softly. "You're not alone in this, Elena." My heart swelled. Was this real, or just the exhaustion talking? Morning came too soon. I arrived for my shift, replaying the night. Marcus was behind the counter, business as usual. "Morning," he said, casual. No mention of the closeness. I brushed it off. Maybe it was just a moment, but deep down, it lingered. A week later, I mustered the courage. Tips were picking up. I could start repaying the loan. And I asked about that raise he'd hinted at. "Things are going well," I said during a break. "Any chance for more hours permanently or a bump in pay?" His face changed. The warmth faded. "Elena, we're tight on budget right now. Let's see." Distant, professional, like the night never happened. Confusion hit first, then hurt. I nodded, went back to work, but whispers started. Sarah, the other barista, pulled me aside one day. "Hey, heard something weird. People saying you're getting special treatment from Marcus, extra shifts. That loan, you know?" Her eyes darted, uncomfortable. My stomach dropped. "What? Who said that?" She shrugged. "Just around. Customers too. Be careful, okay?" I confronted him after close. "Marcus, what's going on? The rumors. Did you say something?" He sighed, avoiding my eyes. "Look, Elena, last week was a mistake. Things got emotional, but the staff's talking, and it looks bad for the business, for me." His words stung like hot coffee on skin. Not sorry for hurting me, sorry for his image. Tears burned, but I held them back. "It wasn't about the job. I thought you cared." My voice cracked. He shifted. "I do, but we can't mix things. You should probably look for something else. Clear the air." Betrayed. That's how I felt. Small. Used. I finished my shift in silence, then quit on the spot. handed in my apron, walked out into the rain. No goodbye. The next weeks blurred into survival mode. Unemployment checks barely covered basics. I sold some sketches online, small commissions for pet portraits, birthday cards. Enough to eat, but not thrive. Nights were the worst. I'd replay everything: the talks, the hug, the rejection. Was I naive? Desperate? The loneliness amplified, echoing in my empty apartment. But slowly, anger turned to resolve. I didn't need his kindness. I needed my own. I scoured thrift stores for a portable coffee setup, an old espresso machine, mismatched cups, borrowed a tent from a friend. And one Saturday, I set up a pop-up stand at a local farmer's market. Elena's brews and sketches. Coffee by the cup with a free doodle on the sleeve. The first day, slow. A few curious folks, but my lattes were killer. Better than Brewhaven's, if I say so myself. And the art? People loved it. "This is adorable," one customer said, holding up her cup with a quick sketch of her dog. Word spread. By week 3, lines formed. Tips poured in. I hired a part-time helper, a fellow art student. 6 months later, my pop-up became permanent. A food truck, painted with my illustrations, swirling coffee steam turning into dreamscapes. Rent paid on time, art school back on track, with scholarships from local galleries impressed by my work. Marcus showed up one day, parked near my truck, ordered a black coffee. "Elena, this is impressive." His voice hesitant. I handed him the cup. No sketch. "Thanks. Cool. Steady." "I'm sorry. About everything. Dinner sometime. Make it right." I paused, then shook my head. "No, I made it right myself." He left, cup in hand, alone in the crowd. Now, as I watch the rain from my truck's window, sketching between orders, I feel it. Freedom. Not from the storm outside, but the one inside. I didn't need his validation. I needed mine, and that's enough.